Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Well, if you're new to my channel, hey, what's up? Some of you may know this already, and some of you may not. But June is Scleroderma Awareness Month. Some of you may know this already, but June is Scleroderma Awareness Month. I'm going to put a huge disclaimer right here at the beginning of the video. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a researcher, I'm not an expert on scleroderma. This video is going to be broken up into two parts. It's going to be, the first part is going to focus more on what scleroderma is. No, I'm not giving medical advice. And the second part is going to be more about my experiences. The official name for scleroderma is systemic sclerosis, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be referring to it as scleroderma. This month is very, very much needed for those of us who know someone that has struggled with scleroderma, and especially it's much needed for those who are currently struggling with scleroderma. Scleroderma is a rare disease. It is an autoimmune disease, and unfortunately, in many cases, it is fatal. It is a fatal disease. There have been 5 studies conducted on scleroderma, and each study gives a different 5-year survival rate, with the average survival rate coming out to 38%. Scleroderma has forever changed the lives of many, many people. Unfortunately, it is a disease that we currently do not have a cure for. There are some ways to help treat it, but there is no way to completely eradicate it. Scleroderma is a hereditary disease. One of my not so distant relatives struggled with scleroderma, and unfortunately did end up losing her life in the early 1990s. And as I've stated on this channel before, I have struggled with numerous autoimmune diseases. I've been struggling with Hashimoto's thyroiditis since I was about 3 years old. I've been diagnosed with echinacea before, and if you have one autoimmune disease, you are more likely to develop others later in life. My esophageal issues started manifesting when I was 14 years old, and this video is not going to go too in depth with this portion of my life. I'm going to save that for the next installment of the story of my life and autobiography. I'm going to put a link to that playlist. But I do intend to talk about some of the experiences here. Or some of my experiences, I should say. I should mention that I have been diagnosed with echinacea, as many of you or as those of you who have seen the video on why I'm gluten-free, you guys probably know that. And this is in fact a very relevant part of this story, and I'll get into that later. So I say that my diagnosis of echinacea is important for this video because about a year or so after I received my diagnosis of echinacea, it was time for my next visit with the doctor who treats my Hashimoto's, and thankfully she tends to think about everything that could be going on with her patients' lives, and so knowing that we've had a history of scleroderma in the past, and that I've got so much going on with my immune system, and it's like a little light bulb went off in her head, and she and so on my order for my next blood draw, she wanted to test me for the antibodies associated with scleroderma, which are SCL-70 antibodies. And so I got the blood draw, and a couple weeks later we received the news that I was SCL-70 positive. And as soon as we got that news, my doctor told me that we need to find a rheumatologist to help ensure that this disease does not progress. I've been seeing this rheumatologist for about 5 years at this point now, and every time I'd go in to see him in his office, he always puts this jelly-like substance right on the base of my or right on my fingernails, and he shines light on it. He does this just because he's looking at the blood vessels in the fingertips. I'm not exactly sure what normal blood vessels look like, and what blood vessels in scleroderma patients looks like. Thankfully, though, at this point he has yet to find anything that's significant. He did tell me that he did confirm that I have Raynauds phenomenon. No, it is not the Raynauds that's associated with scleroderma. We believe that this Raynauds is more likely a side effect of what's happening with my thyroid issue. Although we have yet to find anything significant in my fingernails, we're still not entirely sure what's truly been going on with my esophagus. As I stated, I was diagnosed with echinacea prior to receiving my diagnosis of scleroderma. Thing is, though, we really don't have any way of knowing if what we've been treating it has truly been echinacea, or if scleroderma has been the real player in my esophageal issues. I've had numerous dilation treatments and I've been gluten-free again for the past about 5.5 years at this point, roughly. Thing is that, though, is scleroderma of the esophagus and echinacea manifest themselves in very much the same ways. Both have a tendency to cause the tightening of the lower esophageal sphincter, and both do lead to heartburn. And both diseases have been known to go into rather lengthy remissions for years at a time. So yeah, there's a lot of similarity. From what I can tell, there's a lot of similarities between the two diseases. Although we don't actually know what's actually been happening with me, we've been rolling forward with the assumption that what we're treating is truly achalasia, but we've been keeping the thought of this disease being scleroderma in the backs of our minds, that just to keep a tab on it, and just to ensure that, and we also want to ensure that if this is scleroderma, it does not spread elsewhere. Something I find a little disappointing is the fact that we'll never know which disease we've actually been battling, and we'll likely never find out when at least not when I'm alive. An autopsy might be able to provide more insight into what this is, but hopefully I don't need one of those for a long time. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are someone that struggles with scleroderma, or if you know someone that is struggling with scleroderma, stay strong. Please stay strong. I will put a link to the Scleroderma Research Foundation down below. If you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. All my socials are linked down below. I'll see you guys next, and I will catch you all later.